relatively highly in the draft for that reason, because it is a contested hero for the other team as well. IG looking to try to get the first tier 2 tower of the game while Spirit are mid. Him for overcharge.
Yep.
So 3 good friends for IO this game. I love to see that in IO drafts. I think it's very cool when IO doesn't just have one partner like Tiny, but where there's other heroes you can tether to, because it opens up different plays on the map that you can make with different players, while others might have other objectives in the game, whether it's pushing a tower or farming jungle. And if your primary target dies, you're not like lost in the fight. Like let's say you're tethered to Monkey and Monkey dies, suddenly you can tether the Lesh, and that's also amazing, or the Slargard.
Oh, we're going to see a smoke here from Team Spirit. So Spirit Vessel, I believe, is complete on Toronto Tokyo, which is obviously really good against IO. Collapse not quite done with his Blink Dagger. We'll get to that in just a moment. Kaka might be the one to tank the game here, and something tells me he's not getting out of this one, Cinderin.
Almost.
And the crowd goes wild. But Collapse, like I talked about, I want to say that this guy during the, I believe it was the Animajor, I would consider him the MVP of Team Spirit. He was, especially on Mars, an absolute god. Now Mars as a hero has kind of dropped off a bit in terms of the pick rate, but we're going to see him get the Blink Dagger as it's being delivered now, so expect some plays to come.
Yeah, I think just anecdotally, without knowing the exact stats for the tournament, for me it feels like the primary teams that have been playing Mars have been Team Spirit and Vici Gaming. And a little bit of IG as well, I do believe, on JT. So it's primarily been the Chinese teams as well as the Radiant team in this game. Makes a lot of sense that the hero was rated relatively highly in the draft for that reason, because it is a contested hero for the other team as well. IG looking to try to get the first tier 2 tower of the game while Spirit are mid. Was that a cancel TP? I think it was. Oh, Mira.
Wukong's command, and that is going to be an easy kill onto Mira in the bot lane as the tier 1 falls mid. Stuck inside his Wukong command for now, Toronto Tokyo. Gonna get gone on to start with from JT, but gets slept initially. There's the Collapse ult, comes in with 3 inside. Yataro and company trying to clean up. Ollie's gonna be the first to fall here, along with Emo. JT showing off that Blink Dagger, so he will be safe, but 2 big kills for Spirit.
He got slowed by
He's not safe, Cinderin. Why did you say that,
Stop
JT?
lying to the audience.
He's fine, I said it.
Oh, more
Wait. Depth is strike.
For
I told you. I told you, Cinder. Why do you question me?
Oh, you're so good at this game. You knew.
Oh, man. So good. The crowd continues to go wild, so shout out to everybody that is cheering in-game. We're still waiting on Twitch to approve the extension update that allows Twitch viewers to cheer on stream. You know, maybe if somebody's watching from Twitch, you could approve that at some point. It's not like this is the biggest event of all time or anything. So Emo and Ollie in the triangle. See if they're going to try for a smoke here, but Emo's death quite costly because he was top net worth, but now you can see that it's not the case anymore.
Yeah, looking great for Yatoro now, finishing off the Yasha, of course, building now into E-Blade. They have an enormous amount of magic damage between their heroes. Natural Order. Man, Tsunami really screwed me over earlier when he said Astral Order. He actually got me.
Deception, yeah.
So Natural Order, you've got the E-Blade together with Invoker's spells. Oh, JT will run away.
That's a lot of mana drain from that EMP. His Kaka and company are here. Finger of death. Oh, the nice save! Mira will still die, so not as exciting as it may sound, but 2 dead.
But it
14
cool.
Spirit. It did look cool.
And
That's a highlight.
More important than winning.
If you have a highlight of that, don't show the end portion, and it looks really epic.
Just cut it off immediately. Wow.
Absolutely, and look at this.
Well,
Emo
finger stack. It could make a difference.
Stealing a bunch of creeps in the triangle center. This is a huge deal. All right, maybe not that big. It's still a double stack of ancients available. Yataro. Oh, Wukong's command fly spots him out. JT coming in as well. And there's a relocate. Huge kill onto Yataro, who was and still is for now the top net worth in the game.
Yeah, a hit by a whopping 13 gold over Leshrac. We'll see if Emo can find literally any creep except the garbage kobold.
How dare you? I love the kobold. Best model of any neutral in the game. Look at him.
The best model of any neutral in the game is the Black Dragon Goofy.
I mean, it depends on your perspective.
There's no Black Dragons available right now, so we can't show that. But I'm sure they'll spawn later.
So in terms of pace, obviously, I mean, if you just look at the net worth right now, 2K lead for IG. I mean, coming into this game, a lot of people are expecting IG to take this series. Team Spirit still feels like they're always the underdog, and even after like great performances where they upset, they're still continuing to be the underdog for whatever reason. But I'm assuming you're thinking IG will take this series in the end.
Yeah, I think you're going to be hard-pressed to find a lot of people that Team Spirit favored. Oh, Kaka. Kaka's dead.
Koshka is in the vicinity.
Yes.
Echo Stomp is there. Spear into the trees, and down he goes.
Pretty big rotation from Spirit to find a lonesome position 4 there in the bottom lane. Effectively just the rest of the map being farmed up very nicely here by IG. All of their cores active around both the top bottom jungle of their own side, as well as Leshrac pushing out that mid lane. So this could open up for a potential move for IG. You see them drawing an arrow into the enemy triangle, so it looks like that's the next plan from Kaka here. He wants to maybe smoke. Of course, has the one key item that Lion wants in every game with that Blink Dagger, so can very easily initiate for the team as long as they have vision.
Yeah, BKB just picked up by Fly.
I think they saw him here. They see him. He has the ward though on the high ground.
Links to safety. Looks like he's fine.
Yep.
So BKB on Fly, as he actually has the Oblivion stat, so actually hasn't finished anything with that yet. Changed his mind considering how the game is going at the moment.
No, he disassembled it to make BKB something.
That's right. That's exactly what happened.
That is what happens when you look away for a moment.
That's right.
The game gets patched 7 times, and you can do that.
Yeah, very, very true. Another important item, Cinderin, Toronto Tokyo picks up the Midas, which this is pretty much the standard build from Invokers these days. As Roche is going to be attempted.
Yeah, I like this.
Absolutely. This is against a Slardar lineup, so if you can take it away from them, then all the power to you.
Double damage morph with Alacrity. Oh, what's not to love?
We're going to get the first Roche of the game, the first Roche of TI-10 main stage, in fact.
Yeah.
As bottom lane, IG doing considerable amount of damage to this tier 2, and I would like to think that Spirit just lets this go.
IG take the first tier 2 tower of this TI-10 main event.
Are we just going to say that for everything?
IG are taking the first outpost of this TI-10 main event.
Okay.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I thought you were going to keep going. Sorry. I just...
Why wouldn't they let it open anything else?
Okay.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yatoro damaging the top tier 2 for the first time in this TI main event.
Dire's top tower is under
See if they actually give this one up. IG doesn't look like they're looking to come here. They do pop the fort though. And Spirit continuing to stay in the area. You can see most of IG in the bottom jungle right now. As the game is extremely even. Obviously Aegis in tow for Yatoro here. Gotta go through that backdoor protection.
Well, it's starting to push out this top wave, and looks like IG are not interested in defending, which means in all likelihood Team Spirit will take the second tier 2 tower of the TI-10 main event. And we'll be going to Yatoro or the creep wave. It is Yatoro.
You could have said the first one for the Radiant.
That's actually true. Oh,
JT, yep, jumping collapse for now. Collapse.
Not BKB yet.
Going to get stunned. Ollie's trying to heal him to a high degree, but there's the Mars Arena blocking him up completely. He's just going to die within his own arena. So 1-for-1 for Kaka. And we'll see if Spirit want to continue to fight here, despite not having that big crush by JT onto 2. But there's the E-Blade being shown from Yatoro. Fly jumping on top of Toronto Tokyo, but there, Yatoro doing some nice damage to Fly. He pops his BKB. It looks like Toronto Tokyo is donezo. Fly in the meantime looking to re-pursue here. Looks like the Elder Titan is next on the list. So a 3-for-1 after a really good initiation from JT. E-Blade still not enough to get a kill here for Yatoro. Definitely has to be careful, but...
You see the awesome synergy there between Slaughter and Monkey King. This is a nasty late game composition as well. We're not truly in the late game just yet. I would rather call this the later portion of the mid game, but already you get Corrosive Haze on the target. Monkey King pumps BKB, has the Echo Saber ready, and very quickly gets the hits in, and then that Boundless Strike. It really hurts. We're going to see it in a moment here in this replay. I think it's about 20 seconds after this. So looking to be a decent opener for Spirit. They get the grip off. Obviously gets cancelled here by Fly. And while Kaka does die, it still means big cooldowns have been expended by the Radiant here. No Earth Splitter, no grip, and that gives JT the confidence to go in. And pay attention to Toronto Tokyo here. So nice back off there from JT, and then they jump in the Monkey King. Nice attempt from Yatoro turning into Monkey for the stun, but watch this Boundless. So insanely much damage. Basically killed off Invoker from 2/3 in 1 second. And they're going to need to find solutions for that. So Toronto Tokyo's buying a BKB. You could imagine potentially a Lotus Orb would be somewhere in the future for the Radiant. But all of them just getting BKBs really, except Morph getting the Manta style. So Mars also queuing up BKB. Potentially could have been a Halberd game. but they value that magic immunity very, very high against especially Lion and Leshrac.
So DD Rune, not going to deny. Emo picks it up, pops that BKB. Toronto Tokyo might be the sacrifice for Team Spirit. He's just going to get taken down thanks to that Pulse Nova. Finger of Death used now, collapse. He's going to take the brunt of the damage. That's going to be 2 quick kills for IG. Make it 3 now, as this is starting to get in control of IG overall in this game, despite not having the Aegis. I mean, that's the fact that Team Spirit has not been able to use this Aegis to really any effect is really unfortunate for them.
It is worrisome for Spirit how hard a time they have counter-initiating. It's also worrisome that...
Continuing the onslaught here. Nice force staff, Mira. He's just going to get chased, though. They have so much health regen thanks to Ollie. That is going to be another easy kill for IG. Might be a turnaround here. Yataro forcing the BKB out of JP at the very least. We'll see if they can regroup here, but it feels like just dominoes falling one by one in the last minute or so.
For sure. Yeah, with the BKB on Slaughter and Monkey King, what happens in these fights effectively is IG, when they have superior vision, they just jump and go. And the Radiant, what response do you have to BKBs? You literally have Fiend's Grip on your position 5 Bane. If he gets stopped by anything, you have anywhere between 6 and 9 seconds just ready to roll for these cores. And it's because of the amount of burst damage that they have, Team Spirit are almost guaranteed to lose a key hero in that in those initial few seconds. Leshrac also with the BKB, of course, should mention that one, so... Yeah, it's problematic for Spirit. I think the saving grace for them later can be Invoker becomes amazing when BKBs get low. So when all of them drop to 6, maybe you can stay alive just long enough to get all of that control out. Tornado and Ice Wall. Ice Wall awesome against both Monkey King and Slaughter.
Yeah, and this, I mean, next Roche is not spawning anytime soon, but this is, the second Roche is going to decide the game, I feel like. If IG is able to secure it, it's going to be super hard for Spirit to actually come back into this game. And
good
they obviously
take
it really fast.
Not going into the triangle. They know this is coming from IG. And in the meantime, Toronto Tokyo. This is something we saw him do a lot at the Animator.
Yeah.
Playing these side lanes alone on the opposite side of the map. Even on heroes that aren't necessarily very good at it, he would still find a way to do it. In this game, Boswick's Invoker good at this.
Collapse.
No. Getting
JP
collapsed
pursuing.
All
right, Blink TP. Looks like he's fine. Right. Yeah, Sprint was offline for a moment there for JP, so could close the gap, as it were. And Toronto Tokyo forcing out TPs, like you said. So, I mean, realizing that they're behind, it's not an insurmountable lead for or against IG, but still split pushing, forcing the TPs out, expending some resources, getting them on the other side of the map. You can see the heat map for Toronto Tokyo.
Wow,
obviously, the red portion is mostly the laning stage, I would assume, but starting to spread the wealth to some degree. Yeah, we have 3 BKBs right now on IG, and only 1 so far for Spirit. As Toronto Tokyo still working on his. Is it on the way? Let's see. No, he still needs like 700 gold to actually finish it, so dropping off the farm despite having that Midas.
Poshka's thinking about this. It is a really hard angle. Oh, they're going to get backstabbed as well. Kaka finds Yataro.
He gets off the morph, though. Nice dodge with that BKB from JT. They're just going to apply all their pressure to Yataro. Still stuck inside this Wukong's command, but he's going to be good to go. And now Team Spirit likely on the retreat. Get up a nice tornado to slow things up, and a Finger of Death. They're going to find at least 1. Does IG.
You should be happy if your Spirit that
Absolutely.
was the worst. That could have gone so much worse. Yatoro got off a clutch E-Blade right before the 4th hit from Slaughter for that bash. And they do manage to get out basically everyone here, except Mira, catching his 7th death. Has as many deaths as his team has kills.
That's usually not a good sign.
Absolutely not, but, and especially he's ET, right? But they're doing a really good job on IG of just finding him in these fights. ET can often stand very, very far behind the fights, but Monkey King and Slaughter just have his number, and they have the number of Poshka as well.
Poshka trying to get saved by Toronto Tokyo, but it's not going to have a Kaka. Jumps in with the Hex into the double impale. Flyfly gets off his beautiful right legs. Double kill for Flyfly. And Team Spirit are starting to crumble, Cinder, and Collapse is going to take it out in turn. Tier 1 tower to follow. 6K network lead, and it's only growing from here.
Yep.
And Roche
now
will be
7K.
up relatively shortly. Would you like to count the numbers with me?
Did you grow up on Sesame Street?
Not really.
You don't know the
really scared me.
You don't know the counting song, I'm assuming.
I don't know how to count.
I don't actually think it goes to 7. They start out with the easy course first.
That's not helpful.
No, I know.
No wonder America's screwed. Emo here has the dive key to go. It's going to force out the fortification. And it looks like it's going to be another tower going the way of Team Spirit, or Team IG, I should say. And I think at this point, they're probably just waiting for Roche. Yes, just keep it up, Cinder. You're doing great.
Yep, they're getting a bounty run. Is this 9K?
It's going to be close, I'm sure. You're going to see the replay here.
9K?
Yeah, good attempt from Toronto Tokyo to save his comrade there, but you can see the Kaka initiation with the nice stun from Kaka onto 2 there as well.
Speaking of 9K, a little bit of trivia. Do you know who was the first player in the world to get 9K MMR?
Miracle?
Yes. Do you know who played against him in the game who got 9K?
Cinderin.
Yes, correct.
All right, that was pretty easy, actually.
I know.
Thank you.
That's my main contribution to Pub Dota. Boosting the confidence of others. It's very good.
Appreciate that. Taro. Emo and Ollie hooked up right now and transporting themselves to another dimension, it seems. So 8K net worth lead for IG. They're just waiting for this second Roche, and if they're able to get it, you can see Toronto Tokyo trying to scout it out, but just spawned right afterwards. Oh man, that is actually really unlucky. But then again, it was pretty late into the timer for Roche regardless. So they just need JT in the vicinity, and they can take that super duper fast. This is going to be the Aegis and Shard this time around.
Now it's time for your favorite question.
Yes.
Cedric, who should they give the shard to?
It's going to be Emo. We can be pretty sure of this. Flyflies is pretty decent, but I don't really see it that often picked up.
Damn.
There we go.
There it is. The first shard of the TI main stage goes to Emo.
And that is
great call, Sunspan.
The split earth that just creates bigger split earths in a delay. Very nice. Usually really good for high ground defense, but something tells me IG's not going to need it specifically for that. If the game continues to go in this trajectory.
It's really nice zone control, and you look at their lineup, they have so many stuns that they can likely get off the double value on a single target, right? If you get, let's say, Lion Hex into Split Earth, then you can Earth Spike, then you can Slaughter Stun, and then the second Split Earth proc will come in again. You even have Boundless as well, so very, very nice. Honestly, I wouldn't have blamed them if they put the Shard onto Io. This is a really good game for that, considering what friends he has here. But they are opting to put it on the core first. Emo.
That must make you really sad as a support player to see that.
I like to see the success of others.
Echo Stomp.
Oh, good deal.
Not gonna hit because of the tornado here. Collapse gets a nice spear into the tower. Actually blows up Emo. And now the beautiful Mars Arena onto 2. Buyback is still available if he wants to use it, but Toronto Tokyo takes a lot of damage, able to force that to safety thanks to this Earth Splitter coming out. Ollie, that's a triple kill for Yataro. Luckily for IG, 1 gets out. And Kaka, all right, Glimmer. I think they spotted him though.
Well,
They're going to try to chase
the
Kaka
4
here.
different colored pages around his body.
E-Blade not able to finish him off in style with the Sunstrike. All right.
No way.
Oh my God, Kaka! Are you serious? He gets out after all that.
Damn.
Either way, great defense from Team Spirit. Obviously, Aegis was not on Emo.
Yeah,
Questionable.
exactly. It's a bit questionable to maybe have him push that tower without the Aegis. You could have let Monkey King do this with the Desolator and the IO behind for protection, but they were just not expecting this play. Super well set up there. Collapse going for that high-value spear, and the follow-up arena is just as good. And that was about a 3K gold swing. They still don't claim the Aegis, though. Back to live. Kaka is asleep. Now he's awake. And that was really exciting.
Thank you.
And now it's over.
Can we get a highlight of that? First terrible highlight of the game, as Scotty is now picked up for Fly, so he is hitting critical mass here pretty soon sooner. He is mega farmed overall. But, I mean, on the other side, Yataro still top of the net worth. He has actually got the Titan Sliver drop as well from the jungle. So
very good for Morph.
One of the best heroes in the game for that, no doubt. So he has the Manta BKB and E-Blade going for, I would assume, Scotty next. Yeah, looks like it is. But 6K net worth lead for IG overall right now, still with the Aegis in tow.
This is a big movement. They have the smoke coming out. Relocate is available from bottom.
Toronto Tokyo gets initiated on by JT. They are going to destroy him. Does have buyback, though.
Okay.
But a nice pick off for IG. And still with about a minute and a half to go on the Aegis, so obviously want to use it in some capacity here.
It's important for Spirit to not get cornered here. They do have a good ward seeing this movement in from Fly, but he can be as confident as he wants. There's no way they kill him twice.
Yeah, they see him, and there's the crush to cancel the TP. Echo Stomp's going to be canceled as well, so a second freebie
Kaka's trying to get the
for IG.
And he won't. It's just that shield. Someone at Valve was really thinking hard about what to call this invincibility ability of the courier, and after a lot of deliberation, they ended up with shield. I think very good.
I think it's a solid choice.
Very good choice. It's up there together with Bash and Amplify Damage as very good descriptive names.
I miss those, actually.
I like Amplify Damage, honestly.
I agree.
I think
now it's Corrosive Haze.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Viper skill, honestly.
It really does, actually.
And calling it out, he Corrosive Hazes them does not sound super hype, I'm not going to lie. But then again, Amplified Damage had that same issue, so whatever.
It was nicely descriptive, though. You kind of knew what you were going to get.
Very true, but Fly and company. Kaka gets off the Hex. Poshka's in the vicinity, has the Nightmare available, but Yataro's taking a ton of damage. Has to E-Blade himself here. Tornado gets Yuled, and it looks like he's just going to drop inside the Wukong's command. Has buyback, but Poshka gets jumped. Double kill for Fly. And with this, IG will try to force out these 2 buybacks that Spirits still have. That's one. Yeah. That's not the important one. Keep in mind, Aegis is running out soon.
A little bit of a life pro skill here, showcased by Fly. If you're ever in trouble in real life, make sure you turn into a banana. Then nothing can happen to you.
That's a great life advice.
Yes, you're welcome. Probably a 5-minute crafts video about that somewhere.
I'm sure. And everything's on the internet, or so I'm told.
Okay.
Oh, we got the Earth Splitter coming out, and Collapse with the initiation. Buyback from Yataro as well. Can they take out Fly? Absolutely. And inside the Mars Arena are 3, but the BKB allows Emo to run out safely and TP to base. Kaka again gets out. So only finding 1, but still an important kill.
It's a couple of really good defensive play calls here from Collapse. Again, finding that setup on the Monkey King as the Aegis expired. But the problem is you had to buy back your Morph, or did you, right? Like, maybe that could have even worked without the Morph buyback, but it's like an impossible judgment call to make in the moment, so you will generally see the core buy back there.
Yeah.
But it makes that win a lot more bittersweet, because you have an opening now for IG to win the game flat out by just killing the Morphling 1 more time now. And you're not going to be able to get anything meaningful in this minute that the Monkey King is still dead. There's no Roche. All of your waves were pushed pretty far, so you need to just spend this time putting out fires across the map so that you can start maybe finding a move when all the enemy team is alive again.
There is a DD top, and there is a Morphling in the game.
Yeah.
Quite possibly the best hero to have a double damage on, or one of them at the very least. Has a Scotty, now does Yataro, so obviously not saving for buyback at this point since he does not possess one.
Yep. That's why buy all out.
Unfortunately for Team Spirit, they're not able to force any buybacks from Fly. That would have been pretty big, but pretty risky as well.
This is, I'm not going to call it a Hail Mary move, but it's likely to decide the game here from Team Spirit. If this move fails and Morph dies, things are looking very grim. They will... I like it from them, though. You've got to take this kind of initiative if you want to make a comeback and win this game eventually. You can't just sit back and play chicken for 8 minutes. So they will see if they can find an invasive move into the enemy triangle.
The Poshka is the frontliner here. Smoke is popped.
Oh, Emo's just straight in.
Jumps in. He's getting decimated, but there's a save from Ollie for now. But no, there's too much damage to withstand. He does not have buyback.
Oh, the
JP
spear
is next on the list. Double kill for Yataro. As it looks like Fly with the BKB will get out of dodge, but a triple kill now for the Morphling. And nice arena from Collapse. They find Fly. This will be an enormous kill. He turns to the Monkey King for just a moment. Ultra kill Yataro. What a turnaround from Team Spirit. And making a rampage. Yataro, beast mode enabled at TI-10.
Okay.
And that is 2 buybacks, and they're going for buildings
here.
Win now. Holy Gavin. They're going throw. That's Alacrity onto Yataro. They force the fortification. Remember, 2 of these core heroes do not have buyback for IG right now. They use the last one remaining. That is a tier 4 tower. See if they can actually defend. Kaka actually just fingers Collapse to death, but he buys back into the game. We'll be back shortly. Alacrity again onto the Morphling. Going for the tier 4 tower. This would be an enormous turnaround for Team Spirit. Boundless strike from afar. They're just waiting as long as possible for their Leshrac to come back. 15 seconds for him. That's so far away. Fire, Fly, just getting kited from afar. Yataro continuing to hit the Ancient. They might be backing up though. Nope, he pops the BKB. Going back in with the Alacrity, going for the Ancient. Will they be able to get this? Yataro trying to get bursted down. They're gonna get it! Team Spirit! Unbelievable turnaround. Holy David! I literally cannot believe that they just won that game. Oh my goodness. Cinderin.
I mean, it's
What the hell just happened?
It's one thing that they pull off that confident move into the enemy triangle, but the fact that this heavy physical damage lane can be very good against Doom, and like we already covered the top lane. So honestly, I could foresee a situation here where Team Spirit just end up winning all 3 lanes hands down, and then it's about whether IG, similar to last game, just make the better moves in that mid game. But it's a very good look currently for Team Spirit.
Yeah, and we talk about Roche a lot, probably because I have some obsession with him that we won't speak of at TI-10 main stage, of course, but Team Spirit have a lot of minus armor to be able to take out Roche.
Yeah.
I would say they definitely have the advantage, and they don't really have, like for IG, as we're going to see, the Cookie connect, and Ollie is in quite a bit of hurt. Scatter Blast into the right click, not even needing the overwhelming odds, so a little bit of waste of mana there, but Spirit, again, 3rd kill on the board.
Yeah. And Emo struggling, right? You're seeing it here. At the very least nowadays, he's going to get a water run here. Oh, Miposhka really wanted to steal it. That might actually cost him his life.
Miposhka, of course, the support Weaver, so that Shikuchi will not come back online in time.
Crucial for IG that Kaka is there. If that rune gets stolen by Weaver, Emo's actually just flat out of the lane. He's still going to struggle here. He took some damage, but at least the kill on Weaver is a little bit of a comeback. He is a full level behind though, minute 4, and that is without a kill. Shadowfiend 23 and 11 to the 10 and 0 of the Ember. Now you knew what you were getting yourself into with this pick. You can't be surprised.
Yeah. So what's the plan for Emo after, or I guess the extended laning stage into the mid game? How do you get back into the game? Is it just kills? You go try to get some stacks with Flame Guard?
I think there's some key items. I think Doom's BKB is really important in this game. Probably the Lion Dagger. Until you have these key items, it feels a little bit tricky for your lineup to find openings, especially if Ember isn't having a particularly good game. Oh, Fly.
So close. Has to waveform away. Living on the edge again. I mean, that is kind of the Morphling's job, right? To min-max. Position 1's favorite thing to do in general. And
yeah, I guess he's keeping Ollie's pulse at a constant 120 here at least.
yeah.
So that's great.
At bot lane, we're going to see the Earth Spike connect. But there's a swarm on top of JT, so he has to be careful. Actually, he already killed it, looks like. And, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of Weaver support. We've seen a couple, I want to say we cast one game where it's position 1. But for the most part, it's
Kaka bottom.
Oh,
He's just,
all right.
Oh, great
stop from JT. Beautifully done. That'll save his teammate. Never mind. Reality Rift back in. Kaka dies. So maybe miscalculating the amount of damage that it actually does. But
I think he might not have thought Reality Rift was ready. But looking great again here for Team Spirit. And I say again, the last game did not look great for them, but they won. So they are looking good off the back of a win. Miposhka going to steal that bounty rune away as well. Now, will be spotted out by Kaka.
Yeah, better be careful. Earth Spike's there. JT in the vicinity as well. That's going to be an easy cleanup.
But if this is a trade, that's great.
JT, that's a Phantasm. JT has to pop the wand. Has the swarm still applied, so ticking down very slowly. Yataro, not much mana to speak of. One more right click does it though. Killing spree for Yataro at the 6.5-minute mark.
I actually think that attack needed to be a critical strike. So only 1 in 3 times will Yataro get that kill.
That's good math, Cinderin.
Thank you. I did Sesame Street counting class. The upgrade was statistics. Actually.
Wow.
Yes.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What was
we started early in Denmark.
What was the character that did statistics?
don't show the crowd that I don't know anything about Sesame Street.
Okay, so you lied to the crowd. I see. Fly. Gonna take some harassment here in the top lane. It's a 1v2 right now. There's no teammates nearby, but he seems to think he's going to be just fine. Collapse is continuing. Actually gets a couple procs of his passive as well. Overwhelming odds with the Cookie as well. Scatter Blast just finishes off Fly. And now we see a Chaos Bolt into the reality where JT taking heavy damage will be fine. But Synderen, if I didn't know any better, I would say IG is somewhat tilted from game one. They're playing very un-IG-like right now.
I don't know if tilted is the right way of looking at it. They're just playing against a team that's on fire that have better lanes. And Team Spirit are just not making mistakes in these lanes. They're finding aggressive moves. They're playing... What I really like about this top lane from them is how constantly they are putting that pressure on Fly. The reason they find the kills to begin with is that he's half health, right? Or third health. From just Mira laying into him over and over and over in the laning stage. And it's just been paying big dividends here. Top 3 net worth is theirs. Keep in mind, one of the heroes in the game is an offlane Doom, who is in 4th right now with that Devour level 3. So that is a very, very good sign here for Team Spirit in this early game.
Right.
I'm always a little bit concerned about Shadow Fiend strategies because I feel like this hero is one of the ones that suffers the absolute most from dying and is the most snowball reliant as a mid hero. But it also is incredible when you are ahead like this.
Trying to turn this Nightmare into an aggressive play instead. Collapse gets off the duel. It's not going to result in the kill. It looks like will be close. The winner is Ollie, the Bane Elemental, with massive damage now. 2 dead. IG get the amazing trade there.
I think with this plus 10 damage on Bane, now Ollie can start. Now he has wave clear.
Position 1 Bane. Let's go.
That was what he was missing. Now with... Okay, let me give you a question here. Can you think of a worse hero to win a duel on?
Ooh. Lion?
Definitely better. He will attack in between his stuns,
Bane
right?
attacks during Nightmare, Synderen.
Does he? In mid-game?
I mean, Bane almost doesn't exist at that time of the game. A lot of games that we've cast, at least, as we see. Actually, a Midas picked up here by Yatara. So, going for the, I guess you can call it a bit greedy, but they are off to an amazing start. So this is just going to amplify their farm. What are your thoughts on that item pickup?
I think CK really wants it in general. It's just, one of CK's downfalls is that he doesn't have very good farming potential compared to a lot of other carries, right? Like, the meta carries now have some sort of wave clear or illusions, whatever it is. Chaos Knight, sure, you can use Phantasm to farm as well. It's not terrible, but it's not constant. So the way this hero works, having a Midas really helps.
That's true. There was a short period of time where Battle Fury was a thing, but Battle Fury doesn't seem to be picked up by anybody unless it's Anti-Mage, the one game that we actually cast.
Now check out this Chaos Knight set. His face looks like Axe.
Okay.
It's Axe's cousin. Do we have lore on this?
Wow, you're right, it actually does. I thought you were kidding.
It's Jeremy Kahn.
Jeremy Kahn.
There it is.
At it again. What a god. Fly is going to TP out, so this looks to be a free tower for Team Spirit. We'll see if it ends up being a trade of tier 1s overall.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I wonder if there's some lore combining Doom and Axe in some regard. I guess we can ask Slacks on our time off here. That's going to be the tower for Spirit. Maposhka is in the vicinity, gets off the swarm. See if they want to TP to actually try to defend, but it looks like Collapse is TP'd mid instead. Kaka's going to get up the Hex. Amir's in the area as well. Cookie not going to be able to land.
Nice
But it will be
there
enough to defend the tower.
But yeah, the defense here from Collapse, very important. You don't want to give this up at all. And your trade-off, you're going to lose the bot tier 1. Actually, JT mistiming the last hit there. It goes to the siege creep, but most importantly for IG, a little bit of breathing room, right? Like those 2 kills they just found make a very big difference. And you're getting Emo a little bit into the game as well, closing in on Maelstrom. I imagine he's going to go for a 1-4-4 build here. Felt forced to max Flame Guard, which I think Ember players actually don't like to do unless they have to. Yeah. A lot of the times nowadays, Embers want to max out Sleight of Fist. It's just way more teamfight damage to have that low cooldown, especially when you get that Maelstrom. But the lineup, it's going to time pretty well with the Maelstrom when he gets level 4 Sleight, so it's probably going to be fine. It's going to smoke. This is a very unpredictable smoke, might I add. He was literally just pushing out the top wave, TP'd mid, and instantly smoked with Kaka into the triangle.
Oh, double courier kill? Oh, Maposhka. Geminate attack for the win.
There's one more.
Mid lane.
It's pretty
Fiend's Grip in the mid lane, and that is going to be a freebie for IG, it looks like.
Goes to Fly. He needs it so badly, too.
Everybody needs it so badly.
Miposhka, 3 couriers.
Mortimer's kisses. Kaka's going to take a tumble. So it's a 1-for-1, but obviously position 1 for support. IG will take that trade. As I hear a pig pull.
Yeah, who has the pig pull?
I hear it's a global sound.
Yeah.
As where you're devouring creeps, your goal is a little bit inflated versus what the actual reality is a lot of the time. So this 2K Network League for Spirit is probably like 3, I want to say.
Yeah, something like that.
Something around there, but he is starting to ramp it up. Second in net worth on that Doombringer, so we'll see what kind of itemization he chooses to go this time around.
It is a really good Shiva's game, isn't it? Like, you really want that against the Chaos Knight, and you want it against just the overall minus armor that the Radiant has, like the panel talked about. So I feel like Dagger BKB Shiva it's a go-to anyway for Doom, but it feels extra good this game to have a Shiva's Guard. I'm definitely going to be seeing that coming out later. Emo currently rocking a DD rune in the bottle and has those 4 points in slides. So this is actually a very strong time for IG to look for a potential fight, and they will smoke now. They have Doom. No Fiend script for this play. But Doom and Finger are online. If they find anything,
the jump in with the duel. This would be a huge kill for Team Spirit. They're going to find Emo. That is damage going the way of Collapse.
These are the best moves. Not only do they get the kill, but it actually negates all of IG's plans there.
Yeah.
If that happens 5 seconds later, IG are in position and they get the save, but instead, Emo dies, Spirit get the mid tower, and IG waste a smoke. So absolutely huge timing there from Team Spirit to make that move at the exact same time IG were doing it. Just really good stuff.
Tara right now has the Casual Sage. We'll be finishing the S and Y, it looks like, into 8th lane. So this is going to be one of those Octarine games, potentially. Cinderin?
Wait, which hero?
Chaos Knight. He's going for the crazy magic. Well, not all of its magic, but... Aetherlands with Shard into Octarine.
Do you go Octarine after Sanjin Yasha only? I'm not sure about that.
The Sanjin and Yasha in combination is a little odd, and the fact that he's position 1 makes it a little bit odd as well, in my opinion, but we'll see.
It's not... I'd say the CK isn't the most played hero at this tournament, so it's kind of hard to decide what is meta, right? When there's so few games. It is a feel-good item to at least get the lens, just because it helps you so much with connecting.
Yeah. Oh, the ping pole saved him! Did you see that? Cinderin, admit it. Admit to me right now on stream. Keep in mind, Legion has the talent for the extended range. He would have gotten the duel off.
Did it actually save him?
Yes! As we see a Requiem of Souls from Toronto, Tokyo, but Fly is perfectly fine. TP's coming in mass, and TP's canceled in mass.
How did that go so wrong?
I don't know.
He was not really very close to killing Fly.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
JT. Oh, there's the duel that they've been looking for. Mortimer's kisses as well. The Nightmare trying to save Emo. It's going to be close. Gets off the slide, and away he goes. That'll save him, and Collapse ends up being the casualty for Team Spirit. Very nice save.
Yeah, that's big for Kaka to get that finger kill. He's close to Dagger now.
Yeah, and that's when he starts to really show his impact on the game. Some more item updates. Obviously, Yataro's still sitting on the same items that we discussed because we talked about it literally 30 seconds ago. Toronto Tokyo has the Dragon Lance and about 1,000 away from finishing the BKB, as it looks like. And as with many games, it feels like the BKBs are kind of the go time. For Team Spirit. Ollie's going to be spotted. There's the cookie initiation into the duel. Easy victory for Collapse.
Silver lining there is if Ollie isn't there, that death is probably JT. So, but Team Spirit are going to immediately look to Roche. They only have level 1 little shredder.
Little shredder?
Lap it up. But they have a lot of other minus armor. Presence of the Dark Lord, the Swarm, and a Blightstone, I think. So this goes pretty quick. And they will not forget the Aegis.
That's good.
Very good.
That happens occasionally if you're just joining us. May seem impossible.
That is a play that is reserved for TI winners.
That's true.
Team Spirit do need the Aegis.
Right. So Aegis on Toronto, Tokyo. As kind of the panel talked about his build, it's going to be more right-clicky. We're not really much anymore with the old Arcane Blink and Yules and all that good stuff. which means he's the one that has to be set up, which obviously Duel is kind of a nice one for him to Requiem on top of.
It's going to get slept here.
Yeah, left to start things out, but there's the Duel, and it's going to be another victory for Collapse. JT gets his Doom off this time, pops the BKB. It'll be a trade of sorts.
He might get denied.
Well, we'll see. He's going to the creep area. Fly. Looks like he'll finish him off with the Shikuchi. JT in the meantime, look at this damage coming out the Mortimer's Kisses. JT better be careful. He pink pulls himself. Potential safety Cinder. It's going to be close.
Oh,
he's actually going to live. Pink pull MVP again.
He's still dead.
Never mind. Pink pull made up. Wait for it. They baited him with pink pull. Cinderin. Admit it. That's 2 times in one game. I've never seen it before.
This is actually the best game for pick pull we've ever seen. We've not even seen one time that it mattered. Now it's been twice in a row.
Holy jeez. And that extra armor that was given to him not too long ago, really showing its worth there, I have to say. Just living on the edge yet again. All right, so IG have kind of come back with a bit of a vengeance here. Still 3.5 minutes on the Aegis, though. And
the big thing in that fight, though, Yatoro died on Chaos Knight. He's dying with Midas ready, so there's like a bit of extra value lost. And just because he's such a high-level hero, when you go for this build, it does give IG a lot their way. So you're going to see the start here. They will commit everything, and they do kill the Bane, but at what cost?
At what cost? That is true. This was a close deny onto the neutrals here, but Fly able to turn into Weaver temporarily. And you can see the instant rate, but this is the important part. The pick pull right there. Look at that. Just beautifully done.
It's about as close as it gets.
Indeed. I actually can't believe he didn't die to the wreck. I mean, this is a support Weaver, so no real damage to come. So it makes sense. All right, so this is pretty even game. Obviously with the Doom, it makes it a little bit harder to distinguish the network discrepancies, but again, Aegis still there. So look for Team Spirit to try to put something together.
And the thing that's worth keeping in mind here is remember that Team Spirit were 3 or 4k gold ahead, right? So you've clawed yourself back into a position where, Nikoshka, no sentry down. It's gonna be fine. Just looking at the overall strengths of the lineups right now, Chaos Knight does not have that much going his way with like the overall value. Let's look at, if you look at his net worth, right? He has 10k net worth. What's the effective net worth of his items in the inventory? Midas, very bad item for what it costs. Energy Booster does nothing for what it costs except give you a bit of mana pool. So say, he has 10k net worth, but compared to the Morph and the Doom, their items just do more for now. This Energy Booster needs to be turned into something. The Midas needs more time to really pay off. So I think it's fair to say that IG are actually kind of far ahead right now in the game, in this current point in time. And the only advantage Team Spirit really have is the Aegis of the Immortal that it looks like they won't find a use for unless they find a fight in the next minute.
Yeah, it's looking less likely now as they're just content to farming away here. Looks like Shadow Blade is on the menu for Toronto Tokyo. And Collapse has his armlet blade mail.
Will he buy the shard on right-click Shadow Blade?
Oh boy, we'll have to discuss that in just a moment. The potential save, but Collapse gonna get bursted. Takes the Fiend's Grip and the Finger.
Oh, that'll kill you.
And that means Aegis will not be used in any effective manner.
Yeah, and the tower is gonna fall. It's all IG. This looks like last game, except the laning stage was way better this time for Spirit, but after this 10 to 15 minute mark, it's just IG finding the correct moves. Emo now completing that Lincoln Sphere, gonna make it way easier for him to navigate the map as well. What do they have that removes the Lincoln so that they can duel? They have Reality Rift? That's it. Like, there's actually nothing else that they could do it with. So this item is insane this game.
Needs to itemize a halberd or something like that for sure, but even then, makes it a little bit more awkward. All right, Poshka.
Kaka opting not to dust there. Interesting. I think I don't know if he thought Mikoshka would time-lapse to somewhere else, but he was right on top of him. Could have dusted and probably Earth Spike there.
Well, Spirit Vessel is officially completed now in Mapochka, so against a hero like Morphling, pretty high value overall. But we've talked about it before. The reason you pick Weaver, other than the laning stage with the Swarm and whatnot, is really the Aghanim Scepter, which is obviously very far away at this stage.
Yep.
But
Did complete the vessel against Morph, which makes sense.
Thank you. Yeah, that's right. I literally just said
I know,
that. Thanks
but
for joining us on this cast of the TI main stage. My co-caster literally doesn't listen to me at any point.
It's kind of crazy that we've cast together for so long, and it still surprises you that I don't care.
No, I just want the public to know.
Okay.
I already know you're not a good friend.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Really appreciate you, though.
If you're tuning in for the first time, then welcome.
Yes. Well said, Syndra. Thanks. Very eloquent, as always.
Radiant's middle tower is
I'm very interested to see, though. Okay, he did get Aether Lens, but is now going for Silver Edge and has the Shard right now in the CK. So Chaos Bolt will create the illusion, so he gets the extended range for, obviously, Chaos Bolt and Reality Rift. So we'll see how that works out in their fight. But you're right, it feels like kind of not super effective yet.
Yeah. So looking over items, what has just happened? So Morphus got an Eagle Song. Oh, interesting. Shard on the Chaos Knight. That will make his Chaos... I'm kidding.
No,
Of course
that was a little obvious.
Of course.
Good effort overall.
Of course I listen to what you say.
Oh,
Don't you
we have a smoke from Team Spirit. See what they're able to do with this. Looks like IG, based on the way they're farming, might be aware of. Flash jumps in with that BKB. The Nightmare safe for now, but Bane takes the brunt of the damage. The Requiem of Souls doing massive damage as well to JT, who gets off his BKB and dies immediately after. So two good kills for Team Spirit.
Very nice for Team Spirit there. Might get a tier 2 tower off this move mid, potentially. 40 seconds on Doom is pretty important here, but of course Phantasm being expended there as well might stop them from pushing. It's running out in 3 seconds, and Chaos Knight without Phantasm, fair to say, not really a very good hero. Like, it's been important for Chaos Knight over the years that the cooldown on this ultimate has dropped so much. What do you think the cooldown is off the top of your head of Phantasm right now?
Oh, boy.
What would you guess?
90.
It's 75. I think it used to be 2 minutes. So it's a lot shorter than it used to be. Kaka?
We have a Hex, Miposhka. Oh, actually time-lapse is in place, but it worked
Very
out.
nice sidestep there by Miposhka in the trees to avoid the Earth Spike from Kaka,
Radiant's bottom
and therefore gets the lapse
By the way,
off and gets
Firefly
out.
is also working on a Lincoln Sphere, so they're going to have 2 Lincolns against this duel.
Yeah, it is really good
I
in
mean,
this game.
you have to see a Halberder. Like, what else would you want to buy? You have to itemize for it, like a Force Staff, just something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. And I also don't know who would be buying it, right? The problem is who can expend the gold for it that will also be in a position to use it. Because Legion Commander needs a BKB, Shadow Fiend needs more damage, and Chaos Knight already bought the lens, so I don't think he wants to go the route of another utility item, so it's kind of... Yeah, I honestly don't know who I would put the item on against those Lincolns, and that just makes it feel so powerful. If we can look from an observing standpoint and feel like all of the choices are weak, then it just makes the purchase incredible.
Very true. Lincoln's applied to JT, who is frontlining in this 5-man smoke for IG. And they're not going to find anybody initially, but will likely get some, I would assume, some wards placed. Good position. And what I assume is incorrect, apparently. Not going to happen, but we have a counter smoke now.
Pretty
for
common.
Team Spirit. Syndra, I thought you didn't listen to me. You can't correct me if you don't listen to me either.
What?
Doesn't make sense. Exactly. Okay, so 5-man smoke from Team Spirit. See if they're able to find anything. So Roche not going to be up for a bit, but like we said, Team Spirit definitely had the advantage in terms of killing it fast. We have both teams posturing on both sides of this cliff. JT.
Radiant are scanning.
Yep, we have a scan come out, so Spirit are aware of IG's presence close to their triangle.
It's a pretty telegraphed move because of the vision that Spirit have themselves, that they're able to make this call. But obviously, you just chill here. Both teams, they know this Roshan is super important. The early spawn has already passed, I believe, right? Yeah, it has by far passed. It could spawn any second now. Both teams will be aware of that. So
Taro continuing to spam one of the best taunts in the game.
I was just going to say,
I made a taunt tier list. This was top 10, I believe. It's quite good. The more it annoys you, the better it is, I think.
your top 5 taunts probably all have sound, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
They have to. That's a requirement.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah, like Leshrac and Tidehunter and Undying are the top 3. For sure, Syndra.
Ah,
No questioning that.
okay, that is not a subjective opinion.
It's objective. Gabe told me himself.
Oh.
Radiant structures.
Talking about lyrical, not Gabe Newell, so maybe that's not the same.
Okay.
Not the same weight to it as this tier 1 tower taking some massive damage here, but another smoke from Team Spirit and another taunt from Yataro. Just pumping himself up.
Like Ollie covering this observer. One of these two supports is probably going to die here.
Oh, Ward is taken out. There's the Chaos Bolt on top of Kaka. You see the Mortimer's Kisses from afar. Looks like it's decimated Kaka. But in the meantime, Toronto, Tokyo destroyed. Not even close. When it comes to the position 1 and 2 for Spirit, we just haven't seen anything really come to fruition. Shadow Fiend hasn't had like a really good ult, and CK, I mean, we've talked about the itemization be a little odd, but we really haven't seen him turn it into anything yet.
That was just exceptionally dangerous movement from Toronto Tokyo, right? Shadow Blade was out, he walked in, you gotta assume that there's a ward there when you know the Weaver got stunned.
Yeah.
You don't have linkage, you're gonna get Blink Doom there 10 out of 10 times.
Yeah, and knowing that
that's an easy punish for IG.
It's going to be Aegis Shard. They know that obviously Shadow Fiend is dead as well as the Snapfire ult being down is a pretty big deal in the pit.
The Swarm helping them kill Roche faster.
Right? That's the Lincoln's prop by
Oh,
Evo here. Kaka gets off the stomp, but nice BKB by Yataro. But that means a BKB down for this potential Roche. But
And Phantasm is gone now too.
they bought enough time for the SF to be back. But again, he spawns with less souls, so his effectiveness is going to be a little bit lower. As Yataro potentially looking to try to take this Roche. Aegis and Cheese, or Aegis and Shard, I should say, available for the taking. And IG's just playing it safe here. Knowing that they have the advantage of the Impale, Yataro, there's the press the attack. And into the pit they go. This will be a pretty big turnaround if they're able to get it. Slide of Fist from Emo getting a little bit of vision. And it looks like Team Spirit are just going to get the Aegis and Shard for free. Very surprising.
Thank you,
just
IG.
gives it up. Huh?
Thank you, IG.
I guess so.
They did all the hard work.
I'm actually really surprised. I mean, Mortimer's Kisses is like their main defense for the Roche bid, and they still don't have it. It just came up. Okay. Well, who took the Shard?
Oh, here we go again.
It was Shadow Fiend. Are you serious? I've actually never seen this before. All right.
You're audibly triggered.
No, it's not trigger. It's actually excitement.
Oh.
He gains 2 souls per kill with the Shard. And additionally, Shadow Fiend can consume 1 soul per attack to deal 190% crit. This one sounds very bad, but I am willing to be convinced otherwise, Syndra. I love Shards, as you know.
Wonder how it works when you use the Necromastery attack out of Silver Edge.
That's, yeah, I question the same thing.
Got hexed.
Yeah, he's very fast, though.
Very dead.
Blown up from afar. Kaka gets another stack.
Did he have it? He had a gem.
That would explain it.
That's a pretty big kill. And when I say pretty big, I mean very big.
We have an Aghanim Scepter now online for Emo. So he's going to be super speedy with all his remnants. This is when I feel like Ember just gets really, especially with Lincolns against his team that we've already discussed, gets really hard to kill.
And he is so good against Chaos Knight right now. Like, all of these remnants, he's probably he's queuing up the Shard, right? If he finds kills in these fights, can just keep snowballing, has so many remnants, just a passive damage as well on top of CK, all of it. It's just going to add up, compound over the fight. What are we looking at for Doom?
We got the Silver Edge. Let's see if he uses his Shard thingy there.
They found Ollie.
All right, that's a freebie. Down he goes.
See you later.
So that is dual victor. Well, I don't know how many he's had, but he has 50 damage right now. So you do the math. That's
probably
top
more.
lane. Whoa! All right. JT taken out by Yataro's Phantasm. Like Emo's a little late to the party, but that is a really big kill for Team Spirit.
I'm actually surprised Yatoro can kill him like that with this itemization, right? He has the Shadow Blade Sanjinyasha, those are his damage items, and the Doom does have a plate mail, but now it's full Shivas. I don't think he had that when he got jumped. But he can still kill him. That's a good sign for Team Spirit, and it probably gives Yatoro some confidence that if he finds any target, he can kill them at this point. Obviously has to play around those Lincolns. It's a bit tricky. You Reality Rift maybe, and then hopefully you can get a Chaos Bolt in before they react.
I mean, the fact that Team Spirit, in terms of their 1s and 2s, are the top 2 net worths right now is insane.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And we've talked about the itemization, and Maybe it's starting to pay off now, Cinderman. They take out the tier 1 tower bot, as the game in terms of net worth is relatively even right now, as the Aegis still 2 minutes to go, and this is their go time. So smoke on 4, Yataro, of course, has the silver edge, so he can catch up here pretty shortly. DD spawned bottom.
Oh boy, he's gonna get it.
Yeah, they're gonna see it, yeah.
Right in front of him, and he didn't. Wait, what? Okay, I don't know who to trust right now. The game says he denied it, but he has the double damage in the bottle. So who's lying right now?
That's... Illusions don't take priority over humans, just like you as a robot don't as well, Syndra.
Wait.
Something for you to learn.
Hello?
Yeah, that is odd.
Did they do it the same server tick? Take and deny.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go ahead and trust the bottle right now.
Okay, yeah, I would think so. I mean, what? How could that be wrong? He just pops it and it's just like a puff of smoke, nothing happens.
He pops the bottle and it just says denied.
That huge denied symbol above his head. I love that. All right, well, the Aegis is going to expire pretty soon. I'm not sure if they're going to try to poke high ground or if it's a little bit too risky for them. They will take the outpost regardless. And, I mean, this is when it gets really scary, when it's about like 30 seconds left and you're starting to poke, because IG obviously know the timing on that as well, and they can truly take advantage, but we'll see. But the
Shadowfeet
DD
hits stupidly hard with a DD, though.
Yes.
That, okay.
That's the fort. 30 seconds to go. Still has the bottom instead of the ultimate orb applied. There's the E-Blade. All right, Toronto Tokyo getting pressed the attack. And, oh, fingered as well. They're trying to blow him up. They do. And again, that is just the Aegis.
No phantasm now.
Get him again. Pops the BKB, trying to go through, but a grip from afar. And there, he's just abandoned by his team as Emo creating all the space in the world on the backside. Yatara forced the BKB TP. So 2 deaths in favor of IG, make it 3, and literally just talked about this. Very risky move, does not pay off for Spirit.
Honestly love that call from IG to kill the Shadowfeet twice. That's not easy to do, right? A lot of teams, they're like, okay, 20 seconds, guys, just wait it out. Yeah. They had to get through him twice there, but they know if they don't do it, they lose the lane of barracks. It's just too scary with the double damage and all the attack speed he has, so they commit to kill him twice. Ollie has great positioning on that Fiend Script. Still didn't have the Ada Lens. He's going to have that next time to make it even easier.
Yeah.
And they knew that Grip was going to go through fully because Weaver doesn't have the Axe yet, and Press the Attack was already used on the first Spell Wave burst here. You're going to see here he uses Press. So now Ollie knows that all he has to do on the second life is to ult, and it will be very safe if he keeps good positioning. See him standing around here in the back.
But you can see on the backside, JT and then Emo eventually. They end up creating a lot of space. That's why nobody was able to help the SF in the end.
Timeouts, Miposhka.
Miposhka? Okay. Looks like he is... Oh my god, Searing Chains Global.
Oh.
Global.
Wow, are you
Very
sure?
nice.
Did he get double damage while it got denied, and then he got chained and
We're finding out new mechanics every day. That's the beauty of Dota. Today I learned.
We need 240 tick server. Now.
I think you need to talk to the CSGO team about that one, Cinder. 7K net worth lead for IG. Extra damage and stun from the Infernal Blade, as well as the old... If people are joining us that haven't watched in a long time, like a really long time, Level Death, the old ability, now built into the Shard, essentially.
Every hero has a new item slot called Neutral Item. These drop from jungle creeps and have different tiers based on what the game time is.
That's right.
Also, every hero has a Town Portal scroll slot and a backpack if you didn't play for 6 years.
And in the next patch, a ward slot.
Yep, probably. Or...
Oh, JT, he's gonna pop this small. Nope, not quite in range here. Fly, gets off his Manta and is gonna be pushing here. So Yataro did finish the Octarine core, by the way. So...
Do you like this build this game?
I'm
not, I have to say, I'm not completely sold that this was what they needed for it. I completely understand the reasoning and the logic behind it, because you get, I think you primarily get it, not necessarily only for the ulti cooldown, but really getting lower cooldown on Chaos Bolt when you have the Shard is really nice, right? But
yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure this was what they needed. Maybe they could have had a stronger power spike. Let's say he had an AC, or maybe finished Silver Edge. But this is, of course...
Yeah,
it's not a super unusual build, but that doesn't mean it's good every game, right?
Yeah. But they are 1,000 away from Ags on Weaver, so that could be a turning point.
Yeah, that's big.
Of course, IG is working with a decent amount of burst damage between the E-Blade and Finger of Death, so might not even have time to use it, honestly. That's the scary part. As into Roche pit they go. So Roche number 3 has the refresher shard this time. And of course the cheese.
Oh, refresher shard. Who would you give it to here?
Can Team Spirit
again.
hold on? Will IG extend this to game number 3? It's looking likely, but after last game, I'm not ready to call it one way or the other.
And this is essentially non-commitment, right? Fly can hit this without taking damage because he has 50 armor and lifesteal. So the rest of his team can just wait outside the pit, keep scouting the area, keep poking and prodding, see Emo just non-stop sliding.
Now they see it with Swarm. And here comes Mira's ultimate. That means Team Spirit needs to initiate. They're going to go inside the pit. Toronto Tokyo pops the BKB. They're just going for Roshan right now. Who's going to get it? A big impale comes through. Huge red ring from Toronto Tokyo, but really not that much damage done in the end. Aegis is on for Morphling. He's going to be perfectly fine as there's the Doom. And this looks like the beginning of the end of game number 2 as IG able to hold on as GG's are called. So this time for IG, it goes according to plan, Cinderin.
It does, but whew, they set them.
It's all about execution, which IG, during this tournament, have had some of the best execution of anything. I mean, they were top of their groups, along with LGD in the opposing one, and that's why they're favored in this match. But they have been extended to a game 3 here by Team Spirit.
I feel like when I look at this Spirit lineup, it reminds me a little bit of some strategies that Virtus Pro have run in the past with success, where they have this Juggernaut carry and they just play around hyper early aggression with all of these heroes that really thrive, and then you try to get the first Roshan, and then you look to maybe even go high ground. I don't know if that's going to work out with an offlane Tiny in particular. A lot of the times those Juggernaut strategies will be coupled with something like a Dragon Knight or a Lone Druid or whatever, you know, that wants to hit towers, or even Pugna in some cases. So I think maybe that's what IG's read was in getting these greedier late game heroes, is that, well, even if Spirit do well early on, we think we can bridge the gap to a late game and then ultimately just overpower them with, you know, arguably by many considered the single best late game support in the whole game, Phoenix, played by Kaka position 4. And then you have Storm Spin going late. You've got to feel pretty confident if you don't get crushed in the first 20 minutes here, right?
Yeah, I mean, this has kind of been the Wombo combo, if you want to call it that, for this last year, is the Mars Arena giving, you know, especially without the BKBs coming online, enough space for that egg to actually go off, and then eventually you probably will see Storm and Ags in combination with that. They just have a lot of spells that work in tandem together. And then obviously Bane has been picked literally every game this series, and I was not expecting that, not gonna lie.
And it won every game so far.
Yep,
so
indeed.
According to statistics, it's in the bag for IG.
Okay, well, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, if there's one thing Dota loves, it's in the bag. Literally every hero has a voice line for predicting
And
victory.
Skyrath has 10 that they forgot to actually split up into separate ones, and is now just one elongated.
Whoa, how is Emo destroying mid this hard? I just realized.
We're watching Kaka get slowly chased down by Maposhka. This is one of the longest chases of all time. He has 5 mangoes.
Possibly
another
dying.
frostbite to come.
Yep.
And there we go. Another kill going the way of Team Spirit. So yeah, mid lane 17-1 to 10-0.
This is not that Storm favorite of a lane. Emo is just outplaying here. Toronto Tokyo by a decent amount in the first few waves. Good news if you're an IG fan. Getting Emo off to a good start. We've covered this in the last couple of games.
Yeah,
And he is exceptionally good on Storm. But, like we talked again previously, he has also had a couple of, like, slightly, I don't know if you want to call them facepalm moments during, I think it was one of our games we cast where Emo just went way too crazy on Storm. I think they ended up winning anyway. But he is prone to a little bit of over-aggression at times, bottom lane. Decent damage onto JT. We'll reset away.
Just going to get salved and we'll be good to go. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this before, just kind of overconfidence from Emo at times, but, I mean, talking about puck, though, Toronto Tokyo's puck is really freaking good. We've cast a lot of his games, and some of them were pre-nerf, right? He's been nerfed since then, so
that's true.
A lot of games we've been seeing, you know, some mid laners partake in some puck, and they haven't looked so good, so interested to see if Toronto Tokyo does it. But we saw it game 1 where he was split pushing with Invoker. Does a lot of that with puck, especially if he's behind, so we'll see.
Kind of a dangerous split push game, though, against Spectre Storm Bane. It's not going to be easy.
That's true.
This time around to do that. one of the big upsides to Bane that I think is underappreciated maybe sometimes. Everyone is very much focused around the the laning. Oh, hang on, he might actually die here.
Avatar set up with the cookie, and down goes Ollie. Scatterblast was enough.
Ironically, one of the things people consider so strong about Bane is the laning, because he just got crushed from full HP there. He's facing a really, really powerful lane here, with Snapfire being one of the worst matchups the hero has, in my opinion, in lane. But yeah, what Bane usually brings to the table, it's the pseudo-save of Nightmare, it's the grip, but also just the ability to, because you don't have the ability to wave clear, you never really need to show mid-late game at all. Like, you can sit in a tree line and wait for someone to go for the play we just talked about, where Puck starts cutting waves, and then find a good pick that way.
And looking at Fly's CS right now, he is sitting on 18-2 versus the 21-6 Juggernaut, so relatively even across the position ones at least. But mid lane still being dominated right now by Emo. A 10 CS lead at 4.5 minutes is...
That's substantial.
It is. Toronto Tokyo is still getting pretty good farm. Like, this is probably normal farm. It's just Emo's getting literally every last hit, it feels like.
Toronto Tokyo is still ahead on net worth, but that's because he got first blood.
Yeah,
so
true.
Obviously, even with first blood in this mid lane, he was still... I don't know if I want to call it losing to Emo here, but Emo is definitely still having a great time. So, very well done by him.
We see another Ava into the toss, back into Mira. Cookie does not connect.
Not a good cookie,
and Mira will fall as a result of this. Ollie takes a little residual damage from Collapse in the meantime, but they'll have to just cut their losses.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
At bot lane now is JT. Had himself a pretty good series so far. He's had a really good group stage, I have to say. So there's going to be the first coil of the game. It's going to be broken immediately into the Waning Rift, Illusory Orb.
Oh, it feels real bad. He doesn't get the kill here.
Fine, just barely.
Oh. It's one thing not getting the kill, but it's the time, right?
Yeah.
Storm is now 20 CS ahead. He's pushing the
Avatar, Scatterblast, Fire, or Fly. Looks like he's actually going to live. Spectre, one of the tankier position ones in the game.
Definitely major upside against a lane like this that is so burst-oriented.
As an off-lane Tiny, do you think, I mean, you still go Silver Edge at some point against Spectre, right?
Maybe you can do that on Jugger. I think it depends what they value the most out of their Tiny, because he could also go for like a cash build. That's a dead man, by the way.
Yep.
Oh, nice fairy.
Right, he's going to live for a little bit, but the toss finishes him off. 4-1 advantage for Team Spirit. So game 2 and 3 starting off kind of similarly in terms of the kills, but it's really the mid lane that's the story right now. But we can just call it a wash just because of that first blood.
Pretty much. And again, I think the two heroes on IG that you could be concerned about, because they are very much dependent on that good start. I think both Storm and Spectre are feeling pretty good about this, right? Fly has a kill and 30 CS, and Emo must be... You know, you have like a mental checklist for what's good farm. Having 10 CS per minute, minute 7 a Storm, you're pretty happy with that. It's not going to get... Like, how can you get more than this, theoretically, apart from having a guy stacking all your games? He's basically got everything he can. So...
That's very true. Looks like Collapse is... we're going to see the coil in the mid lane. Mira kind of coming in the vicinity here, but Ollie is TP'd as well. Toronto Tokyo trying to get the first damage. Scatterblast is going to be enough. Toronto Tokyo takes out Emo. Mira gets slept, but there's not going to be a whole lot of damage between this Phoenix and Bane, and Ollie, he's completely surrounded here. A couple more right clicks, and he loses a double kill for Toronto Tokyo as Team Spirit doing very well.
I love the way that Toronto Tokyo used the silence there. He was very patient. He saw the Bane TP coming in. Okay, Cookie. That's cute.
Cookie on the creep. Do they have
gonna work?
Frostbite with the Illusory Orb? It's not a triple kill, but we'll call it that as Haunt comes in. First of the game. They're going to try to go for Toronto Tokyo. The zip in from Emo. He wants revenge. Illusory Orb, but looks like Toronto Tokyo will fall. And now Meposhka might be next on the list. Gets off the Frostbite. And Emo not with a ton of mana left, but Fly will be trying to pursue. In fact, Emo might be in trouble here. Jataro's made a transition. Doesn't look like the cookie connects, so away Emo goes.
Well, Fly gets to the high ground, but he has mana for TP now. He has to get out of there immediately. Yeah, and he will make it. So, yeah, it looked like a nice kill. I really like the way they cast their spells to execute this kill on the Phoenix behind the tower, but of course it does compromise Puck's position just enough that Storm respawns and finds the counter kill.
Mars Arena Collapse ends up getting procced by the spear, and Emo cleans it up. eventually. JT gets credit for that one. So nice rotations is feels like at 8.5 minutes we've had a trade of tier 1 top and bottom in both games, and that's not even remotely the case this time around.
Well, Spirit have done more structural damage for sure. Like wait, have IG? Okay, IG have hit a tower. They've hit a little bit on mid and top, but yeah, the top tower for Spirit looking a lot healthier. So all in all, still very, very close early on, and you just gotta wonder what's gonna happen as soon as the first round of items comes in, right? So Storm is queuing up the Orchid, Puck is going Boots of Travel, it looks like, here at Toronto Tokyo. Not too uncommon, but also a little bit risky sometimes, especially playing against a hero like Storm who wants to go Orchid. You're not gonna be like that step ahead where you already have the Yules when the Orchid comes out, so you are a little bit exposed that way. But
I mean, he's definitely made it work in many games that we've casted him in the past, so see if that comes to be again. Of course, it is against Emo, like you said. An absolute beast. Toronto Tokyo about to hit level 9 here. Has his coil available. Looking for an opening. His collapse. Trying to bait a bit. Oh, Spear does not connect with the tree, but here comes the coil from afar into the ult from Snapfire. Avalanche to follow. Ollie's in the vicinity. Gets off the Nightmare, but looks like JT's going to barely tick out there. They expend a lot. TP support from IG. Team Spirit get the kill. And they're going to try to go for this tier 1 top as well. They're going to be stopped in their tracks for now. Toronto Tokyo picks up a double damage rune. Was not denied by an illusion this time. And Yataro.
It's kind of incredible. You could find an angle for that spear to not land on the tree.
Yeah, that was
such a small window.
Well, I think one tree was missing at that time as well.
Yeah, the one in between them at the back, but still, even then, it's a pretty narrow window there.
And looks like IG's going to defend here. They will be successful. But yeah, Yataro is farming really well, actually. I mean, Spectre's one of those heroes that farms a little bit slower, at least at the beginning stages, than Juggernaut, but they're basically on the same footing right now. But yeah, it will be Aghanim Scepter for Fly eventually after the Falcon Blade, so he will not be going for, well, maybe Orchid after, we'll see. Yeah, collapse, gonna get the Avalanche into the cookie, into the toss as well. Scatterblast brings them up there. You see another coil expended for JT. He gets off his ult as TP supports are on their way. He's gonna get Ursted down though, and Emo with Fly coming in on that haunt. They're gonna be able to clean up 2 kills right off the bat, but it's just 2 supports. Double kill for Fly. Now Toronto Tokyo's here with the double damage. Of course, no coil, 60 seconds on the deck here, but gets the Waning Rift. Not sure he's going to finish this off. Toss onto Emo. Yataro has a healing ward. Going to try to spin here. He's taking a ton of damage in the meantime, though. He's just going to get right-clicked down very casually by Emo. You see the egg on the backside here, but won't end up resulting in any kind of stun. So a little bit too aggressive, perhaps. They're staying too long for Team Spirit.
What is it with TI and tossing people from your own team into trouble, huh? That's a pretty...
It's so tempting.
Memorable moment from a different year. I don't think that one was on purpose, though. This one was. But that toss did not work out the way they wanted it to. And they even got a really good Avalanche, because Jugger got Fiend Script, and immediately Avalanche canceled the Fiend Script, and he still couldn't get the Omni Slash off.
Yeah. You see the replay here. So they end up killing the Phoenix, who, the fact that he eggs at the end of this fight just shows how long it went here. Very extended fight overall.
And this is what IG's lineup can do. The moment you start committing, this global presence of Storm Spec can always come in and punish when cooldowns are out. And it's very understandable that Spirit want to chase here, right? You have a DD Puck, you know the enemy team is somewhat out of resources. Sidestep from Toronto Tokyo there to not get Fiend Script, but here is the problem. So instant cancel on that grip.
Yeah, and he never Omni Slashes either.
Maybe taking too much
not
damage.
Sure he would have got kills. Yeah. He's yet to actually Omni Slash this game, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
I mean, it could have been a lot worse, honestly. Collapse did live at the very least, but...
And now Collapse will take that top tower, obviously, with those cooldowns not ready for IG. They're not interested in trying to defend without Supernova or Haunt, so a little bit of a silver lining there, at least that they grab the first tower of the game, but the question is if they're going to be able to defend their own bottom as well, or if it's just going to be a trade in the end. Kaga's eyeing up a Yules. I think it's probably a pretty good choice here. Maybe he's worried about the Puck silence, and he wants to make sure that he can get his Supernova off. Just TPing bot. Yeah, it's going to be a tower tree.
Are fortified.
They're making very sure here. TPing Phoenix bottom here is basically them saying, all right, we take no risk here, just in case Spirit want to defend. Since they have Omni, we're going to have as many heroes as possible in the neighborhood, and now they realize, okay, defense is not coming, so they're going to rotate. And Kaka will maybe stack a little bit of Ancients here. I don't know if they want to do that. Seems like that's a yes.
Yeah, Ollie TP's mid. Looks like IG want to defend this mid
They
tower
definitely should
potentially.
defend this.
But Team Spirit is completely set up here. Yatara is at half HP though, does not have Healing Ward to use. We'll see how they want to actually initiate here. There's the toss back onto JT. Gets silenced right off the bat. Can't get his Mars Arena off. Nice layering with the cookie. But the Arena actually blocks off the Snapfire. He cannot kill the egg as a result. That's one death. Make it two. And Team Spirit getting destroyed in this fight. The Mars Arena perfectly placed. We talked about that combo as Yatara now on the run. Spin TP looks to be successful.
Such a godly setup there from IG. They make sure that the one hero that can be caught is JT on the Mars. He instantly uses the hood, and then they get in and get the counterplay with a great Supernova Arena combo, and they instantly Fiend Script the Snapfire as well, who was part of coming in close for the extra burst. But that obviously means that there's no Mortimer Kisses. That's one of the problems with this hero in some situations, is that you always need to gauge what distance you want to play at, right? It's rare that you find a fight where all of your spells get used well. It's generally either the up-close ones or the long-range one, and in that situation for Mira, it would probably been better to stand further back and get that ult off for a massive amount of damage in the arena, but yep, he got taken out, so made that an easy hold for IG.
Yeah, now Fly, top of the net worth. I believe Aghanim Scepter is being delivered as we speak, so essentially he gets, I guess you can call it a mini haunt. You have to have vision of the target, a single, what do I actually call it? A
Shadow Step. How about that? What do you think? Do you think that's a good name?
Single haunt is better, I think.
You definitely designed Slaughter.
But it also applies a Spectral Dagger, so I would assume he's going to go for all the talents that line up with that.
Just already taken the Dagger talent on level 10, which is very common.
Single target, that's what I was trying to say.
Single target haunt.
Single target haunt, yeah. It's very accurate.
That's pretty much the worst name you can give a spell that I can imagine.
Well, amplify damage.
That's better.
Oh, Avatos from Collapse. They're going to be able to blow up the Bane right off the bat. Suspended Coil as well. And look at JT somehow surviving through all this. The Hood plus the Sunray.
Mind you, that's only level 2 Sunray, actually. That wasn't even a maxed out one, but just the Hood facing the right way and getting Sunrayed really can keep JT alive for a long time. They do get the pick on Bane.
And this is going to be the crucial part of the game for IG, or if, I guess you can look at Team Spirit's perspective as well, but Orchid on Emo. And right now, Toronto Tokyo has nothing to take it out. In fact, he doesn't even have anything queued up that will dispel that. Went for the Kaya, we'll be going for Blink next.
It's dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
It's so dangerous when you're not playing with a save, right? It may be sometimes you can justify this a little bit easier if there's someone who can, yeah. Very good.
Well, you get some HP, it's something.
When Snap is level 15.
Yeah, eventually they'll get there. The Orchid...
level 15, the 200 heal from Cookie.
The Orchid will have done its work by then, I'm sure, but... Yeah. I mean, it is risky, but I mean, Toronto Tokyo, he typically always plays like this, and it pays off a lot. Very often for him.
That's the thing about Glass Cannon builds, that if the situation is correct, it's very good, and it's kind of just, you're just polarizing your play, right? You're saying, okay, in good situations I'm better, and in bad situations I'm worse.
Yeah.
And they're relying on having superior vision or getting the initiation with Tiny, which he can, for the most part, trust Collapse to do.
Oh, so we're going to see the Orchid. We just talked about it. All right, too risky, Cinderin. Too risky indeed. Mira not in the right position, although the Cookie, as you explained, would have made a difference here.
For what it's worth, he would have also
Oh, man, they're actually gripping Collapse as well. This is going to end up being a team wipe if they're not careful. Double kill for Emo. 4 dead for Spirit.
God, yikes. He's getting caught in 2 different places with 2 different heroes, just being fragmented there. I mean, for what it's worth, the kill on the puck had nothing to do with his height ability. He has Yules there, but still dies. He was just getting killed within the Vortex pole. But yeah, it's a problem. The Spectre is so farmed that I don't know how Team Spirit can really handle this. Their lineup kind of has to win early. You're going to see it here.
No, actually, he did have time, if he had Yules, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe he could have reacted really fast and got it off before he got
like half a
Vortex.
second.
Yeah, maybe. You're right. Possibly work, but...
Somebody record that line. I haven't heard that before. You're right. Thank you. But yeah, this was a disastrous fight to Team Spirit, and
I was talking to production. They were saying that you're really smart. And I was like, you're right.
All right,
you know?
fair enough. Fair enough. That makes sense now. IG with a 5K net worth lead. Keeps going back and forth. And that is, for 18.5 minutes, that is a crazy lead. And the fact that you have the Spectre, you have the Storm, that feels very bad for Team Spirit. And this should as well. Toronto, Tokyo evaporates.
I mean, he is going all around the world right now.
94% win probability. IG, after that game one, I don't know what you want to call that. That was a very surprising win for Spirit. And you got to give Spirit credit for that as well.
Of course.
But after that, IG have just, they've been looking just like they did in the group stage.
Yeah, and it looks like Toro could be in trouble here. They have all the vision and info. They're just waiting.
Spin. They don't have grip right now. There is the Mars Arena into the Spear. Very patient play from IG. And they are actually shellacking Team Spirit right now, Cinderin. This is rough.
I've cast a lot of games.
Yes.
I've seen closer games than this.
Have you?
Yes. I have to admit. I have seen closer games. I've also seen less close games. But comparatively, when you think about how game 1 and 2 went, this is turning into an absolute stomp. And it's not, you don't just look at the numerical values, right? Okay, you're 6K ahead minute 20. That's already good. It's the heroes that you did it with.
Yeah.
Right? The scaling possibility in this dire lineup is so superior to that of the Radiant. And Team Spirit, honestly, I kind of like from them that they went in with this kind of, you know, confidence and mentality in this game. Okay, we see their heroes, we're going to pick something that's good. But in terms of execution requirement, they have so little margin for error in the first 15 minutes with this lineup. They have to be ahead on kills. They have to do better in lanes than they did. And now that we're not at that stage anymore, it just feels like it's kind of cruise control for IG right now. Wait for every time you have, what's it called, sorry, single target haunt ready. Then you use that to kill a hero.
Thank you.
And then you also have every target haunt, which is your ulti.
Yeah.
Very good.
That's very accurate. I like that.
And you just, every time those things are ready, you try to find picks with Storm.
Easier to understand as well. 7K net worth lead for IG. They have 4-man smoke right now. And Spirit just has to play in this type of way where they have a couple heroes just kind of shadowing somebody that's pushing just to be able to save them potentially, or at least create some havoc. But it's going to be an uphill battle overall.
The Kaya Sanj. He has died in the other 2 lanes in the last 4 minutes. Well, they died in the third one.
Again, Toronto Tokyo gets up the phase shift this time, but Collapse might be in trouble. Actually blinks out to safety, and it looks like Puck's going to live through this engagement. In fact, they get the root, the coil onto Emo, but that is just the Aegis right now. The spin from Yatoro comes through, has yet to Omni-Slash this entire game. Fiend's Grip will disallow that from being a thing as well. And now the jump in from Emo after the Aegis has been expended. 3 deaths. All they lose is Aegis. I can't get over that there has not been an Omni-Slash this game. You know, that is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it makes any difference in these fights because it's getting to be very one-sided now.
Honestly, it's a really hard jug game, actually, I think. Oh, Fly almost soloing Toronto Tokyo.
Oh, the jump in from Emo. 11K now, and this is without even the tier 2 towers being killed yet. BKB now online for Emo. Looking to add insult to injury. Of course, they don't have Aegis to work with as we're looking at the replay here.
This is a really good play from Toronto Tokyo, by the way. He phase shifted the initiation, then he gets a 2-hero silence, one of which is the Storm, and then he escapes this after. He could not possibly have done more in that fight on the Puck, but again, who's going to stop the Bane in this situation from Fiend's gripping the jug? As soon as all the spells are cast and Bane is unaccounted for, that's when this hero really shines. Just goes in and takes out the carry from the fight entirely. JT's having a great time.
Yeah, absolutely. But IG sometimes in the past, as we saw in game 1, a little bit too confident sometimes. You know, it happens to the best of us. But I think they've learned their lesson, and I'd be surprised if they don't just continue to grow this lead. Ollie gets off the Nightmare.
Is he actually going to escape here? Oh.
Yeah, looks like that's the case. Basically nullifies a smoke from Team Spirit. Now, IG are aware. As Kaka's working for a refresher already on the Phoenix. My goodness.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Well, actually, does he even have the mana to support it?
That's a good question.
It barely does.
I'm sure he's done the math. Do they allow calculators in the booths?
Maybe that's the one tool you would be allowed to have in there. Probably not.
Probably not. Fly up. He's going to get the single target haunt off. And we'll go back to where he came. So ends up baiting out most of Team Spirit, including the freezing field.
That's another thing about Spectre when it has this item is if you want to gank Spec, you kind of need to either have full chain stun and silence until it dies, or you need to be all 5 heroes there. You can't just press a button and escape globally. It's very, very annoying for Team Spirit to deal with here. And IG are immediately going to make their own move. I love this. You know, you used Shadow Step, but you're ready to go once again. Immediately smoked up the other 4 heroes, and this is a dead Crystal Maiden. The question is, are they going to get any more? Emo with a long jump.
Yeah, and they're going to get a second.
Oh, baby,
Sapphire CM Dunzo. And the fact that this Shadow Step is only a 30-second cooldown, kind of crazy.
It's an insane ass.
You have constant global ability. Is Collapse.
He's going to join bottom.
Yep. This is getting out of control as IG dominating right now. But all top three net worths on their team. Probably just waiting for the next Roche just to make sure that you know, they have things in hand. They don't want to get overconfident again. And
did they see Toronto Tokyo? They don't have vision of him right now. He's standing there in the tree line.
Yeah.
If Bane were to randomly walk in there, Toronto Tokyo actually dies. Because Storm has the Orchid, but he obviously does have the vision advantage himself from that high ground ward.
So he does have Kaya Sange now on Toronto Tokyo. So status resist against the Orchid. That's something. It's not a dispel, but we'll be going for the... See, now I actually agree with going like Blink Dagger and all these other items. When you're at this point, you need to play a little riskier, I feel like. If you go for a defensive build, I don't think that helps you back in the game, necessarily. Kind of got to go all in here.
The question is if you could have got the dagger before even your travels. Like if you wanted to play hyper-aggressive with your team, was travels the choice that enabled that the most? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that, but I do feel like usually the travels Kaya-Sange build is more of a greedier approach to puck. And I don't think being greedy in this game, I mean, it's not easy to say in hindsight because they got rolled in all the fights, right? Oh, Emo is searching out here. Won't find yet. Mira is going to walk into Kaka. He's dead.
Yep, there's the Yules, and will be left to die in all likelihood. JT jumps in as well. Lead continues to grow here for IG as they try to get as much map control as possible to starve out Team Spirit, and obviously still waiting for Roche number 2. In which case we can have a very long discussion about shards, as is the tradition. Fly working on a Scotty for himself. And I mean, you just look at the farm discrepancy.
Nightmare.
Oh boy. Yeah, Nightmare setup. Grip. Oh, Collapse jumps in, gets the avalanche. And Emo trying to finish off Puck in the meantime. It's going to be close. Looks like he'll find him. And Collapse dies as well. So it feels like IG, there's like no opening for Team Spirit.
No.
Like this is the opening. Yataro can get a couple creeps while the rest of his team dies. That's like the unfortunate... Oh boy. He might actually get caught here as well.
Oh, no.
Okay, it's fine. But he has Manta, Echo Saber.
Okay. Probably finds it.
Yep, Mira. Believe he died in this same spot last time around. Collecting gravestones there. As we'll know, I believe in 30 seconds for Roche. I mean, from Team Spirit's perspective, Synderen, what can you do? Like, you're... Oh, Poshka. He will actually live. That's the first surprising thing that's happened in the last 5 minutes. What can Team Spirit do to try to creep back in this game? Really taking your time here.
Yeah. I'm running the simulation, so I'll get back to you in a second.
Okay, no
a pretty big Monte Carlo sample here. I'm typing to Knoxville as we speak, too.
Very good.
How many, what is it in, which movie is it again, where they manipulate time and there's one possibility out of a million, whatever, not Captain, what's it called? You know this, you know movies.
Good discussion, Synderen. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I watched this movie, I can't remember what it's called.
Talking about Inception or something?
No, not Inception.
Well, you're the one that's only watched 5 movies in your life, so pick one of them.
It's from the Avengers movie, that's right. It's one of the
No wonder, yeah.
One out of many, many, many possibilities here. That is what we're looking at for Team Spirit. It is, honestly, it is a total miracle comeback if they do it. Gabe Newell gives them 1%. Gracious Gabe.
That's something.
Always stays positive.
Yeah.
We've had games that were over, that said 5%.
Literally over, yeah. Actually, there was a game that was 100% win rate.
Yep. It does happen
in this group stage.
occasionally. It's obviously rounded up. The game is never truly over until it's over. Things can happen. But for Team Spirit, I don't know, you got to go for some sort of Hail Mary, and I feel like you should have done that for the last 10 or 15 minutes. And they've kind of tried, you know? It's not like they've just been sitting around getting dominated, but they're getting chased around the map by
Poshka is dead. Yataro, spin TP. Looks like he'll be successful. No bash or anything like that for Fly, but...
It's like every time you blink, somebody just gets jumped somewhere by Storm or Spectre, right?
Yeah.
So you only really find opportunities by going together and looking for a team fight, but the problem is in order to set up a team fight with the nature of how the Dire are playing here, IG, make sure to push in all the lanes. So if you want to find that move, generally what sets you up to make aggressive moves is that you've pushed at least 2 waves across the river, but every time they split up to try and push the waves, they get ganked. So it's like, it's kind of a checkmate situation where you need to somehow magically dodge the ganks for a full minute.
And Shard, I assume Emo will take the Shard.
Yes, he will. Good call.
Thank you. So he's going to get the Overload active that allows him to use on his teammates. Has a haste rune to boot.
I didn't know that had a mana cost, actually.
What is the mana cost?
150.
It's actually, it's quite a bit, actually. It's very good, though, so.
It is.
You get 3 procs on everybody that you cast it on.
Smoke from IG. JT is ready to go in. He has BKB.
Smoke from Team Spirit as well. Miposhka is going to be the sacrifice. He tanks the game. I mean, that is actually an okay scenario for Team Spirit.
Yeah, it shows what kind of a game it is when you're happy one guy dies. But there isn't really much need to sugarcoat it, you know? They're just getting owned. Like, they got ran over in the stage of the game that they had to win, and now they're just paying the price. That's a bit.
Toronto, Tokyo, Orchid death again.
December
Can't do
dulu.
anything with this item set versus the Orchid specifically.
Kadang kosong dah. Sudah.
Collapse, gets up the Avatos. All right, they find a residual kill at least.
Kill for Yatoro. He's working his way toward a silver edge. Maybe that's their idea here. It's like, okay, Spectre's too big. We need a silver to have a chance. Oh, dear.
Fly comes in.
He just doesn't care.
Kills the ward, gets some free gold. Emo basically out of mana.
Oh, Mira is in trouble.
Mira is dead. Okay, he actually has Shard on Mira. Didn't realize that. Gives you a little shotgun blast. But IG just getting whatever they want. And still 3 minutes to go on the Aegis, so expect them to, I would assume, try to go high ground here. They have a gigantic lead.
All right.
Did we do it?
Gaten has called it.
What is it, 100?
Gaten is like, welcome to the international team spirit.
Right.
If there's anything I know,
Big difference.
then I don't know if that's useful here.
That's usually the case, actually. Toronto Tokyo working on a Lincoln Sphere. That'll help him. But Yataro, spin TP. Right. Do they have the damage? No. I mean, if they really cared about this, they would get a Basher on the Spectre. But him spin TPing, it just forces him out, and he can't farm anymore. So they don't really care that much. It's not like they need these extra kills as much at this point of the game. But yeah, this Lincoln's would be great. But, all right, phase shift.
Good shift.
Staying alive. Gets off the coil. Loses orb to the other side as well. And now his teammates have come. Yataro. All right, we're going to see the Haunt coming. That's the Omni Slash. Is bouncing on all the illusions, though, but they'll find the Mars in the end. But Collapse is dead. Toronto Tokyo's dead. And Team Spirit crumbling here. Mira not able to TP out. Double kill for Fly. And Yataro looks to be the last remaining member of Spirit, but not for long. Just trying to extend. Okay, Spectral Dagger comes through again. The Shadow Raid's out. I wonder if he might get out here. Doesn't have